Hey guys, what's going on? It is technically Thursday, and it is time for a story time with Taffy. If you found this, congratulations. You're among the first to show up to the new channel, TaffysManCave. I know there are well-meaning citizens out there like our good friend N7 who are terrified that because we have a secondary channel that bears my name, that Woofless and Taffy are going their separate ways, and despise him as I may, mostly just for who he is and what he stands for. Rob and I are not separating so much as you can consider this sort of Woofless 2.0, but I get to be the face and I get to be the deciding factor on what goes up. So if any of you long-standing subs remember the debacle that was Zombie Month, or the Left 4 Dead Let's Play that was never finished because I could never get Rob to play it with me anymore, that's the kind of stuff that will go up here. It's also sort of a minor league training ground for things that may eventually end up on the channel, but it is in fact no way, shape, or form the end or demise of the MrWoofless team. I don't know if this gets to be a story time so much as it gets to be kind of an announcement, but there is a sort of tiny story that goes along with it. As Rob collects all these newer high-profile gaming friends, we are getting a lot of subs. A lot of subs don't necessarily know who I am. I have some things I want to put up, but because Rob is getting so much gameplay footage with these other big YouTubers, it's actually really hard for us to fit all the things that we want to fit onto the channel. So that's where this place comes in. It's a place for me to get to put up some stuff that I want to put up. There'll be some things that I want to do that may not even necessarily include Rob. Rob's got a couple of things that he wants to do that don't necessarily include me on the other channel. We're not going anywhere. He'll be on this channel, I'll be on that channel. The tiny story that goes along with this, and I know it's a tiny story, but it's a hidden video, like 7 of you guys are going to find this. So, the tiny story that goes along with this is that with our newfound fame has already come an opportunity for the good fortune of this last month to rend the band in two. It's like a VH1's Behind the Music minus the hardcore drugs because I can't afford them. Rob was having a conversation with a large YouTuber who has not gone all the way back with us. I'm not going to say who, and I'm not going to say this was done out of ill will, because a lot of YouTubers, especially big YouTubers, and this is really cool for Rob because Rob is the face. He is the guy who plays the games the most. He is the guy who does almost all the editing. I was just kind of a voice who helped guide things for the longest time, and when we were doing PA, we booked guests, and we did music, and there was a lot of stuff that needed an adult voice to it. But Rob's the one who's going out and meeting a lot of these huge YouTubers, both in COD and in PC gaming, and fortunately, because the rest of the world finds out what I've known for quite some time, that playing video games with Rob is a hell of a lot of fun, they want to hang out with him. And because I'm in school and I have a crappy PC, which we're going to try to fix like ridiculously soon, I kind of get pushed off to the side a little bit, and that's okay. That's to be expected. I mean, originally we thought that when I went to school, when I went to graduate school, that I was done with the channel. Like, that was all she wrote. But fortunately for us, I've managed to come back on and just accepted the fact that I love this channel, I love being here, I love doing this, even if it becomes like a part-time hobby, I don't want to leave. And now as things are starting to explode, I really don't want to leave because this is what we worked 2 years to get. We're at a point where at our lowest, we're getting 300 subs a day over on the original channel. It spiked as high as 1,400 subs the other day. So this switch to PC gaming is going to be where it's at. That said, if I can take some of the editing pressure off of Rob for the things that we don't necessarily have to put a crazy amount of time into, like just relatively straightforward Let's Plays, or if you guys say want to see like my point of view, like if Rob and I did a Trials Evolution run against each other for a while, if you wanted to see my point of view, if I said I did something funny, we'd have to post both points of view over on the main channel, and that crap wouldn't work. Dude, I sidetracked myself so hard. Yeah, rend the band apart. So this YouTuber kind of gets into Rob's ear and says, hey, maybe it's time you cut Taffy loose. I mean, you're the name of the channel, you're doing most of the work, and Rob could have definitely taken that and been like, you know what, it may be just time. But he and I have been through a ridiculous amount of personal stuff. Rob and I, for a very long time, for almost 2 years, have spoken to each other almost every single day on Skype, and despite having only met once, there's really only been one other person that I've talked to more than Rob, and that's my wife in the last 2 years. And even then, I've talked to him twice today, and I've only talked to her once. And so this YouTuber, who has been through a lot of the ins and outs of YouTube politics, is just looking out for Rob's best interest, is worried that Rob might be pulling some dead weight. Rob instantly comes right back to my defense and totally stands up and says, as long as there's a Woofless channel, there's going to be a Taffy channel, and once back when Rob was going like incredibly nutso and just posting like every damn thing under the sun, when my absence was most felt on the channel because it was a visual representation of his ADHD, where I started to expect videos to switch games mid-video, like, hey everybody, how's it going? We're gonna be playing Trackmania today, and today I'll be in Minecraft. At the height of that, I actually came to Rob and I told him I was leaving the channel to start my own. I told him I would take story time with me and that it was no hard feelings and that my new channel would just be a hobby and that I wouldn't ask for any more money, which we've never made any real money off this channel. To tell you the honest to God truth, like, we're moderately successful YouTubers, but until you hit the top tier, almost all of our money has gone into new gear for Rob so he can make better videos and that LA trip. Other than that, it's virtually gone, which is why we're having the live stream, and I'll talk more about that on the main channel coming up. So at one point in time, I thought I was going to take story time and all of my, I don't know, personality out of the channel so that Rob could do whatever he wanted to do. I didn't want it to be something where there were hard feelings, and originally I didn't want to be a Minecraft channel. Like, I was still way into Call of Duty. I didn't know how to be anything else, and to tell you the honest truth, I knew I didn't have the money for a computer, so I knew I just couldn't game. Like, I just physically couldn't keep up. And when Rob heard the prospect of me taking all my stuff to another channel, he actually apparently had a physical reaction to it. Like, it was like being broken up with, and he just utterly refused. And this was back when everything was at its worst and we stayed at 34,000 subs for like a month. And so he asked me to stay aboard. I could not be more happy that I did, so I just don't want anybody to look at or see this as any sort of a separation. It's growth. I'm not leaving the MrWoofless channel. MrWoofless channel is not leaving me, but this will be a place where I am going to stick a lot of the stuff that I want to do, along with my point of view on games that we play, and all the stuff that just flat out doesn't fit on the main channel because we just don't have room without uploading 2 or 3 videos a day, and we don't want to spam your inbox because we don't like channels that do that, so we don't want to be the channel that does that. If you managed to track down this episode of Storytime with Taffy, please leave a comment below. Tell me what you think the place should look like. I've got a man cave to myself now. Before I have one in my own house, I have a man cave on the interwebs. We got to decorate this place. I'm talking to Evan Eckert about what the banner should look like. I think we should deck this place out. I'm thinking about doing a big banner with me up front, and somewhere in the back, if you squint, you can see Woof hanging out somewhere clear off in the fucking horizon line. We gonna run this town. Thank you guys for tuning in. I am 1.5 weeks away from being completely done with school. We will live stream, we will raise funds for this new computer, and I will start programming during the summer all day, day with the channel. I could not be more excited to be back. This inaugural Taffy's Man Cave episode of Storytime with Taffy is in the books, but on behalf of the MrWoofless channel, thank you for tuning in. My name is Taffy, and I am